Welcome, STEMgineers, to STEM to Stern, the podcast where curiosity meets critical thinking. Join Shantae and Jake as they discuss STEM topics that spark debate and exploration.
Welcome back, everybody, to STEM to Stern. I'm Jake.
I'm Shantae.
And today we are talking about a very important person in history, Bessie Coleman.
Bessie Coleman.
Take it away, Shantae.
I shall. First and foremost, we will make the statement that she was a native Texan, which is one of the reasons why I do love her so much. She was born in Texas in 1892, I believe, late 1800s. She was born in Texas to a family that she was a native American and African descent. So she, her family, growing up, she always loved the idea of flying. But women were not pilots at that time. It was very uncommon for women to be pilots, and especially a woman of color. But when her brothers came back from World War I, they were talking about how there were French women that were amazing fighter pilots during the World War I.
Interesting.
And they were talking about how amazing they were, and that really inspired her to say, you know what? If the French can do it, why can't I? Mm-hmm. So eventually she moved to Chicago and was studying, and then was told you can't get a pilot's license.
Lame.
Audacity. So she was like, the Americans are not giving it to me. I'm an American. Women are not allowed to have it. I'm going to France. And in order for her to be accepted, though, she had to write her letter for application.
Yeah, application letter.
So her application letter had to be written in French.
Ooh.
So she had to figure out how to write it in French to apply to get accepted.
She sounds very dedicated.
Obviously, this is hard work here we're talking about, but determined to do this, she did it and got an international pilot's license, and then became really, her first flight in Americas was in like June of 1921 or so. She did loop-de-loops and figure eights and all this stuff in the sky. One of the first woman pilots, first woman of color pilots, repping.
Breaking through boundaries. That's awesome.
I always say Bessie Coleman walked so Amelia Earhart could run.
Oh, yes. Because Amelia Earhart's another good example.
She is. But Bessie Coleman set that stage. And you don't hear about her as often as Amelia Earhart, so that's why I'm here to make sure that we spread the news of who made it possible, and it was her.
Absolutely, yeah. It's always a great idea to encourage more women to get into the STEM fields, and yeah, like there's a lot of like technical knowledge that goes into being able to fly an aircraft safely, to be able to do that. Yeah,
and the tricks that she could do, not just any pilot can do that. Also, I mean, she did some amazing things, and she would go to schools and places that were mostly people of color that were not getting the same opportunities to talk to children about what she got to do and what she worked hard to make sure to change the narrative for, which is amazing. Unfortunately, she died very young in a plane crash when she was doing that, but she died doing what she loved.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now every year there are pilots in Chicago that do this. It's some type of association. They do a flyover of her grave every year.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's in honor of her. So definitely check that out, because that's a really neat thing.
Yeah, history, especially in light of the STEM fields, history is definitely full of a lot of like these pioneers where, not only was she a woman, but she was a person of color, and like she was breaking through those barriers, and yeah.
She's changing that narrative, man.
An awesome inspiration for people who are alive today.
She had the nickname of Queen Bessie. That was one of the things they called her. And then there was another name, and I can't remember what it was, but you have to look it up because it was really cool nicknames, just acknowledging what she's done. And I think it's somebody that we should make sure that we talk about.
Absolutely.
She set the stage for what became women pilots.
And if you guys have any other people throughout history who've broken through barriers in the STEM fields, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Check out the show notes for more information.
If you have a fun fact about Bessie Coleman that I didn't mention, because I know I overlooked a lot of her years because it was a short time, tell us in the comments. We want to know. Yeah.
Tune in next time.
We'll see you around.
Thanks for tuning in to STEM to Stern. We hope today's episode got you thinking. If you enjoyed the discussion, subscribe and share it with others. And be sure to check out our show notes for free resources and links that go along with today's episode. Until next time, keep questioning and keep exploring, STEM-gineers.